Spoken Labour. I haven't thought about flying for a long time. I haven't dreamed of that moment when I was alone above the clouds for a long time. I haven't dreamed of waking up in a room surrounded in blue and green grass for more years than I could dream of remembering. I haven't walked back into the past or scratched on the doors of my origins, where it all came from, since I held up that cape for the last time.
Return to Kent Town 10th Year Anniversary Edition is a revised version of Andy N's first poetry book. The book can be purchased from Amazon and it contains numerous additional material.
Spoken Label. Hi, it's Andy N from Spoken Label. Thank you today for streaming or downloading another episode of Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up on beginning of 2016 and as of speaking has currently nearly 300 sessions. The full archive is available on Spoken Label bandcamp.com. Although it is available for free for stream and download if you wish, I am always grateful for any sort of kind of donation to enable me to keep the running costs of this podcast going. And enjoy. Take care. Bye bye. Spoken Label.
Hey guys, Andy N, Spoken Label, back in the house Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, it's been a busy weekend actually. I've covered America, South Africa, France, Brazil, and the last one of this bulk sessions is over in much more easier area for me to get to. We're up to the Wirral today, and we've got a fantastic singer-songwriter with us who I met over at Guybridge Theatre a couple of weeks ago, and she was fantastic. She really, really was. And it kind of says it all. I loved it, what she did. And Amanda taps me on the wrist, because Amanda obviously has got influence. And she said to me, Andy, book her, get her on Spoken Label, which was fantastic. So we've got the fantastic Dogstar Rose with us today. So I'm just going to call you, I'll call you Rose. listen, I'm not going to remember Dogstar. So Rose, obviously, tell us a bit about yourself first of all. Where all your creativity came from? You've got you've got a big story. We could be here for a while with that.
Oh yeah. Well, they say everyone's got a book in them. I've got like 4 already. The bones of them. One of them's already got the meat around it. So yeah, I've written books as well. I originate from London. I'm the daughter of a silver service waitress and a haulage lorry driver. And I had 3 siblings, and we had a great life living in London, lots of fun, but also struggles. And it was quite tough at times. I was a sensitive child, but I was soon toughened up. And hop forward a couple of decades, I decided to come to Liverpool to start a new life. And that is where my real music, I'd say career, but to be honest, I don't think it's been a career. It's just been more of a joyful adventure. I've done a lot, but yeah. I don't have the Taylor Swift pay packet to prove it. So yeah, and I've had a lot of other skills that I've been utilising, running parallel with the music. So but amazing times in Liverpool, and then a little springboard a couple of years ago to the Wirral. However, I am a nomad more than a house dweller.
I like that. Yeah, I think I can see that with you. You've got that sort of feel to you, Auntie Rose, where you're like me in the sense of like, I'm a very wandering creative person and never sit still. I'm always constantly moving forward. And when I was researching, as people will soon find out, you've done a lot of stuff. So it's really fascinating stuff. Now, before we go into your origin, obviously, because people are wondering, Dogstar Rose it's a slight alias, but we'll come on to that in a minute. But I want to learn, first of all, because you've done a gig, haven't you, over the weekend, over at the Bellertown Witch Market, which sounds fascinating. So tell us about that then.
Well, it was this Sunday just gone, Sunday the 5th of May, and it was it was at Tam O'Shanter Farm, which is in Birkenhead, near Bidston Hill, and Beltane, of course, is the old Celtic festival for the beginning of summer. It's to mark the beginning of summer, and hundreds of years ago, they would put out all the fires that were in the homes and everything that were keeping people warm through the winter. And then they would relight the fire in the festival field or the community field. And they'd light a couple of fires and they'd pass the cattle in between to rid them of any evil and to prepare them for the summer ahead. And just in general to celebrate the coming warmth. So there are some witches here on the Wirral, and they all gather together and they do their dances with their broomsticks, which are actually pretty entertaining. And of course there was all the little trinkets that go with witchery, but also, you know, the healing vibes. There was a masseuse, of course there was the live music. And yeah, it was just a gathering of like-minded people. And I know the word witch has seriously been tried to be deconstructed over the years. But ultimately, what the word witch or Wiccan means is that of nature. So I think it's just as important in this modern day that we remember nature. We should live we could do better by living more hand in hand in it than we do. It's really getting lost, and all of that wisdom of our mothers and their mothers and all the women along the umbilical cord line, their wisdom is amazing, and we would do well to stay connected to it. So for me, Beltane is very important, and being amongst the witches was lovely, and playing. And the best thing for me was some of the youngsters who were between 3 and 6 or 7 years old that gathered around, so interested in the guitar, the use of the voice in song. So yeah, I hope I inspired some of them to become future singer-songwriters of the witchy type.
It's good to me. Definitely. I'm always a believer. Get them young. Right? Then there's no escape then. Definitely. Now, obviously, that's a forward to you. I'm not going to tell people your real name, of course. Dogstar Rose is your stage name. Where did Dogstar Rose come from as a name?
Well, it's quite an amazing name, Dogstar, and it actually comes from the brightest star in the sky, as I was told once by the curious man who sat on my sofa. And as I was playing one evening over 15 years ago, he said, "Oh, you remind me of the Dogstar." And at that time, I didn't know what that was. So it derives from Sirius, which is the red dwarf and the white dragon, two colossal stars, one Canis minor and Canis major, small dog, big dog, and they join together and they sparkle and twinkle. It's the brightest star in the sky, and you can often see it. You know, it's there and it twinkles all amazing colours. I think, if I'm correct, because I'm not great on astronomy, but I do have friends that know a fair bit more than me, and I think it can be found on the same area and angle as to Venus, and also what's the one? Does it look like a saucepan, or am I getting that wrong? There's another collection of stars, and it kind of sits in between them. But it's definitely worth a little Google, perhaps, and if people are interested in finding out more, because when you read into it, there's so much more about it. But ultimately, the brightest star in the sky.
Brilliant stuff. Now, obviously, people that know you obviously as well know, obviously, you're not just a solo singer-songwriter, are you, as well? So you've got your band going, Futurejack, as well. So tell us about Futurejack next, then.
Okay, so Futurejack was born in, I think it was 2011. And I was lucky enough to have some other musicians that had heard my solo songs and wanted to play along. One of them in particular, a beautiful woman called Moonbug, and she played, not at the same time, but she would play along on the saxophone or the clarinet or the flute. And she would play along to my songs, and just beautiful accompaniment from her. And for a time, her son, Connor, would play lead guitar. I've had several changes of the band through the years as well. There was a time when we on bass, Tui on drums, me on lead guitar and vocals, and we'd wear the orange psychopath shirts, and I had a blonde wig, and we'd have dark glasses, and we'd go on and we'd be full on punk, hard rock and roll. We'd often have a bottle of whiskey before we went on stage. We could be caught singing in the shower together after, the three of us. We had fun times. So Futurejack has had this changing, rolling. It's almost akin sometimes, not the music in general, but to the way the changes and the roller coaster. It's a little bit like Frank Zappa. I think he was known to have a lot of changes of musicians and that, but I think he might have been a bit more mercenary than me. I've always embraced I embrace musicians, and yes, I write songs and the melodies, and I've had them for years now, and I love them. They're born of my emotive state at the time of penning them. But I've allowed other musicians to have artistic license over them, sometimes to my detriment, I have to say, but it's mostly been fun.
Yeah, no.
But there's a great story from where Futurejack comes from, the name. But I'm not going to give that away too much. I'd like to know if anyone could find out actually where Futurejack derives.
I'm going to give no hints, because I'd have to think about it. I know a new Jack, but that was a very dirty, nasty wrestler, so I don't think it's that. So anyway, so I won't know. So
Futurejack is one word. It's all one word.
Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I saw that before. So yeah,
I got in and found it. I can tell a starting point for some people, but it might not do it very well. But at Nymph.
Cool. Right. Well, we will give no further spoilers away. Then definitely make people work for it. Then definitely, if you want to track it down, definitely with that. Now, okay. Obviously, with you doing the band and the solo work, obviously it's like you're doing two different things. So when you're doing songs, do you actually know almost instantly which is going to be a Futurejack song and which is going to be a Dogstar Rose song, or do the crossover?
I didn't know first. It's definitely a journey of discovery. Nowadays, I'm better equipped, and I could say that will work in the band, that will work solo. But I also have a great belief that my songs are very adaptable, and they can go either or, because it's all about how you present them, and they can be changed, like just the way you send a sentence out there softly for a solo performance. You could spit it with some punk in a band performance. So it's all about delivery, and it's about having the ability to change your vocals, punctuate the words differently, and have those little different changes. And I think because I'm an emotional person, so I have the ability to change and fluctuate with my emotions, which gives a broader aspect of delivery. So in one instance, I could be feeling quite calm, so I could play the song in a mellow, calm way, whereas another time I could play the same song, but have it a bit more maybe agitated, irated, or, you know, just generally more upbeat. I feel with delivering songs, it's a very emotional activity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you completely, because when we saw you live, obviously over at Garbage Theatre the Friday before last, you could tell straight away, and there was a few other singer-songwriters on that night, there was, and not bad-mouthing anybody, but yours were most definitely the most emotional songs of the night. And I know both me and the band have both said to each other straight away, we felt those songs, what you did there.
Right, yeah. Well, I'd like to believe as well that the words and the emotions do resonate with other humans, because even though we are all so different and original, we do have many similar aspects. You know, we all hurt, we all feel pain, we all feel joy. There's so much that we are the same as. So I'd like to think that I'm coming from an altruistic place, and that, you know, in others there is me, and in me there is others.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you completely with that. Do you find then when you're doing some of your other creative projects, for example, like, I know we were talking about this before, I think everything is separate to all your creativity, but there's always a central point in yourself. Like you were telling me before, for example, on a side note, you've done 45 different audio dramatizations of people's books, haven't you? Do you find when you're doing that, you get very emotional again, don't you? But I suppose in a very different way.
Yes, definitely. And one of the standout moments for me with a series of books that I was doing, they were the Jack the Ripper's Victims books by an American author who stunningly wrote about Victorian London. And he loved my accent because he said it was very altruistic. But as I was doing the audio for those stories, they brought me to tears, realizing the suffering that some of those women went through. You know, the poor women of Victorian London. It was absolutely, I mean, his writing was that perfect that I was there, and I was that woman that I was you know, doing the vocals for.
Yeah, I could see that straight away with it. I felt it when I played. People could track it down quite easy on SoundCloud, and it's very used straight away. I thought it was really, really powerfully done on both sides. Have you found then over time with both sides of your music? Obviously, like you said before, like you get both sides, it's you anyway. But have you found has your approach changed with your music over time?
I think my truest answer to that would be it hasn't changed, no, because it's always come from the same place, and that is my heart and soul. So, but my approach to performance, especially when other people are included, because there are so many different highs and lows and ways that being around other people can deconstruct negatively or construct positively. That's the only thing I've changed. I like to be able to work with all people, but sometimes that's not possible. So the main difference is that I've just grown a little bit more aware of who I'm working with, and indeed whether I can work with them or not, and that's just come to resonance quite recently as well. But no, in answer to your question, ultimately, I haven't changed. It's always been from my heart and my soul, because it's just a part of me. It's a creative spirit from inside me coming out externally.
Yeah, no, I get you completely with that, and you can feel it with you when we saw you that Friday as well, straight away with it. So, to be honest with you, that's pretty well all my questions I've got to ask you today. But I like to wrap up with a couple of questions anyway. Obviously, like, do you have any ideas where your creativity is going to take you next?
Oh, such a challenging question, because there is so much hardship in the realms of music.
Yes,
and it's still to this day so male dominated, and many of those males, and I am speaking from 15 years of being in it, experiencing it firsthand. There are many men with egos so big that there is not room for anything else. And that's a real obstruction for women. And then there are also hardships through age. I'm not a 20-year-old bird of paradise singing wonder. So that goes against me. And also performing on stage around other people, it has its challenges. There's a lot of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And whilst that can be really fun, it can also be detrimental to health and mental well-being. But moving forward with the music, there are lots of other avenues it can take. You know, I could be like a man said to me recently, not in videos and at the front line because you're old, you could just, go in the background. So I could do that. I could go into electronic music, dance tracks. I've had a couple of my vocals of my songs being used on dance tracks before.
Oh, wow.
And that's been rewarding.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, going forward in the music, I think it's like anything in this world now, we are so crammed full, so flooded, not only with the generations before us, the generations now, but how many generations are right up behind us. I mean, the age of parents is reducing all the time. So the generation gap is very small now. And I just don't know where there is room for all of us. So it's very uncertain. All I know is that I would just stay with my place of delivery, which is from my heart, my soul. I'll keep doing it whilst I love doing it. And I would hope, I'd love to get a film track. I'd love a film score, have an album. I've got about 3 albums worth of material ready to be recorded. If only I had a team of people that would have faith in me, see the potential, and be really like good adult humans to work with. I'd love to explore that avenue. I think my true potential as a singer-songwriter there would flourish and bloom. I've been quite held back over the years by lots of childish behaviour from people who particularly should be adults and be able to act in an adult way. But that's it. That's music for you. There's lots of egos. There's lots of spin-offs. There's lots of jealousy, envy, begrudging, just so many. But I'll stay true to myself and keep going. I love my songs, and I think they're worthy.
Yeah, definitely that. You keep passing that because you've got real distinctiveness of what you're singing. When we heard it last Friday, I said I've been playing both your band stuff and also your solo stuff, and it's definitely, you don't come across many singers with the heart you've got there straight away. So yeah, good luck with that straight away, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, wrap up then, if people want to find out more about you, where do you recommend they go?
Well, YouTube's a good starting place for me because I have channels for Futurejack, for Dogstar Rose, and also yoga with Alicia. So if there's any budding yogis out there that would really like to have insight into a teacher who's been practicing, studying and teaching for almost 3 decades, I'd recommend that. So YouTube's a good place to start. I don't know if you've got onto this yet, but I have also done some comedy.
Oh, no, no, you better tell us about that. I didn't know about that.
Comedy Rose. Now, within Comedy Rose, I have 3 particular characters already, with more joining. But one is Mary, and she's a gardener. But her little intro line is, "Hello, I'm Mary, and contrary to public opinion that I'm a rock star superstar, I'm actually a keen and avid gardener." And it goes into her garden, which has some very funny double entendres. There's also Cockney Yogi, who's a Cockney gangster teaching yoga. And then there is Sofia Giuseppina, who is an Italian chef. So there's lots of comedy on there as well.
Brilliant. I'll have to go check that out. I wasn't aware of that. It shouldn't have surprised me, to be honest with you, but I certainly wasn't aware of that.
Andy, I'm surprised you didn't find the Who's in the Cupboard Today as well.
Oh, I will. I will.
Years of party after parties, and I had this cupboard in my kitchen which I emptied, and people would come round, rock stars and all musicians, comedians, and I'd shove them in the cupboard, and then they'd pop out going, "And today, who's in the cupboard?" And then they'd do a little something, and then shut them back in. That's on YouTube as well. Winifred Kitchen.
Right, I will be looking for that. Everybody, like I said, it's a great thing you do spoken label. The person you chat to can surprise you, and you have definitely surprised me with that one. So brilliant! I'll definitely check that one out. Great stuff, yeah. Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll wrap up part 1 now, and when we come back in a few seconds, Dogstar Rose is going to do a couple of songs for us. It's been great this today. I've actually really enjoyed this, so look forward to part 2. See you all in 2 months.
Spoken label.
Hey guys, Andy N, the amazing Dogstar Rose. Straight up to my friend. We're not sure how many songs you're going to do for us today, because I know you've had a bit of a cold, so I'll let you guide me. Take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. So this song is called A New Tomorrow. I had to talk to you to tell you about the sky falling. If I'm not mistaken, a new day is dawning, and we must end all suffering. The crack in the skyline, it has meaning. The crack in the skyline will fully lay down your arms and raise your head. Tomorrow is rising. Sha-la-la, sha-la-la-la, la-la-la. It's time to wake up. Does it feel like you're viewing from the sidelines? Are you shocked to watch the great buildings as they fall? And as they tumble, how they crumble to the ground, as the face of truth, it watches the soul. Lay down your arms and raise your hands. A new tomorrow is rising. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. It's time to wake up.
Great stuff. Great stuff. That's really, really raw. That is. Wow. It was like we heard you last Friday, the other Friday. It was just got real power behind it. Great stuff indeed. Brilliant. Have you got a voice for another song, have you? Or
And the rope splits open, opening up to swallow a sweet home. Now you got fearing people. Oh, now you know. Lay down your arms and raise your hands. The golden dawn is rising. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, 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 up. It's time to wake up, 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 up. Wake up. There we go. A new tomorrow.
brilliant stuff. I inadvertently thought I talked over a little bit of that, so I do apologise to everybody listening here. I thought you'd finished a song off and then you came back in and I thought, oh, heck. So
that's all right. Sorry, that's the dynamics of some songs. You know, they go really quiet and they go louder, and that's fine. I wondered if you'd just put your mic back on one of those schoolboy areas, you know, like on radio when.
Yeah, I came into it quick. Yeah, but anyway, fantastic stuff. You know, I loved that completely. Do you have a voice for a second song?
I do. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think I can manage. Okay, I think I played this one at Guide Bridge as well. Let me see if I can do that again. It's called This Is How. This is how life's been since you've been gone. I've grown more honest as the day goes long. That everything has fallen into perfect order, and I'll never see your face again. But I still see your photos in the album. I know they look good because I took them. And you see, because they're mine, I will watch them burn, knowing I'll never see your face again. Said I'll never see your face again, never hear your voice again. I'll never speak your name. Yeah. How I see the tide and how they turn, and the waves that break only to return. Once a sweet horizon for me to cast my dreams on, and I'll never see your face again. Said I'll never see your face again, never hear your voice again. I'll never speak your name. Yeah.
Brilliant. As people don't say then, I had a pause then upon taking no chances after the first song. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you played that one over at Guy Bridge, definitely. So fantastic stuff. The one thing I didn't ask you was in the first half was, and a good way to wrap it up actually, is there any other gigs coming up you want to announce?
No, not at the moment. I just played the weekend of festivals. There could be a couple more coming up. They're yet to be confirmed.
Yeah, best thing to do is keep an eye on your social media then for all reveals and definitely so.
Yeah. There's Futurejack Facebook and Dogstar Rose Facebook as well as YouTube.
Brilliant. Well, we'll be speaking about that because I want to see you do a full set as well. So great stuff. I want to thank you for today. Absolutely loved it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks.
Okay, guys, girls. Yes. Hang around for a few moments, of course. I do need to talk you off my friend. But anyway, well, great session again. I really enjoyed this. So as Don Callis over at AEW Wrestling says, stay safe and stay over. And we will see you all next time.
Spoken, mate.